Alrighty, everybody, coming up on the stream on BPT, we are going to celebrate the birthday of the Nintendo's most iconic handheld game console on the planet. Well, you can't really call it a console because it's a portable unit that you can take with you wherever you go, and it's all in good fun. Ladies and gentlemen, we wish Nintendo the very best and for this legendary console handheld that has dominated in throughout the 90s and all that good stuff. What am I talking about? Well, stay tuned after this countdown, which will begin right now. All right, everybody, welcome to a very special stream here on BPT. I am Remix Plum, and how you guys doing? Happy Friday to all of
Yes.
you. The last day for the month of July, and we head into a brand new month of August. And today's a very special day for me and for everybody who remembers the system. And it was also Nintendo's 100th anniversary back in '89, my birth year, and all that good stuff. So we'll be talking about that momentarily. I am being joined at this time. We got Chris Kennedy with us, the founder of Retro Media Vision,
How you doing?
and which you can check out his album, and we're gonna promote that a little bit on the stream as we progress. So stay tuned for that, everybody. And also joining me, the
Yes.
founder of LJP CBM. Wait, LJP CBM Corp. Yeah, I'm talking too fast. And does a lot of great content on the channels. Ladies and gentlemen, Luke Jeffers.
Well, guys, sorry for the rainstorm going on in the background, but here it's about to stop any moment now. And as I'm speaking of this whole rainstorm going on, but we're going to talk about this whole thing celebrating the 37th anniversary of the stream Game Boy. But first, we got some breaking news. My main channel just before we begin. First things first, I will be going on vacation to see Billy on the weekend of weekend after Labor Day. And the other thing is, the book about my personal life story will be released the weekend of the 18th through the 20th of 2026. I'm looking forward to read that book, so it's gonna be huge, big time. Remake.
All right, thank you, Luke. And so yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stream. And this is going to be a fun stream. And I'm going to be looking at Walmart with my order. My order will probably be here by the time the stream ends. So I'm going to be doing a lot of that. And while we do the stream. So, as Luke mentioned, today, on this day in 1989, that's 37 years ago, Nintendo released the dominant force of the handheld, and that is the Nintendo Game Boy. So 37 years ago, the
Woohoo! Yeah.
Nintendo Game Boy came here in the United States in 1989. This was a revolutionary product from the company that gave us not only the Game Boy that we all know and love, and that awesome, I'm going to be funny here, awesome looking puke green screen
Oh God.
that was in the original. But in all seriousness, this was the handheld that really dominated the handheld market, and everybody else who tried to get into the handheld business, they just simply crashed and burned. From the likes of NEC to
Yeah.
Sega to Atari, and just about anybody else who tried to get into this whole Game Boy thing, and it did not work out for them because, well, what was the number one reason why the competitors failed? Well, it was because of the battery life. The Game Boy had a superior battery life, in comparison with the rival Sega with the Game Gear that came out in 1991, and that thing ate up 6 batteries like Godzilla eating them one at a time for 1 hour.
Like
That's
a
how
boss.
bad the battery life was on the Game Gear, and the reason why Game Boy was a huge monstrous success versus the other companies is the massive library of games that people love and they still play to this day. And in fact that you can play these games on the Nintendo Switch online uh, membership that you can play on either the Switch or Switch 2. And we do take Game Boy games for granted. And with Nintendo Switch Online, they just added some new games. One of them is well, it completes the trilogy of the Super Mario Land series, and a game that not a lot of people talk about, and it gets probably overshadowed than the other two games in the franchise. And I am talking about Super Mario Land 3 Wario Land.
Cool. Yes.
And this is a game that came out in 1994 in March. And this was the third and final game in the trilogy of Super Mario Land. The Super Mario Land started in 1989, my birth year. And at the time, when the game came out, it was pretty cool to have a Mario game on the go, to have a Mario adventure in the palm of your hand was something that was unheard of. Because if you played Super Mario Bros. On the NES and you loved it, but you were at home and you wanted to take Mario with you wherever you go, this was the way to play Super Mario Land on a Game Boy, and you can play it on the Switch and Switch 2. And like I said, we take that for granted still. And Super Mario Land was supposed to be the launch title for the Game Boy, but I'm sure Chris will know the answer to what game that was included with the Nintendo Game Boy, and that really dominated the handheld.
Yes,
And
I
what was the
know.
name of the game?
You're asking me, right?
Say it again.
Pretty much you're asking me, right? Tetris.
Yes, you're right. It
Yeah,
is Tetris,
I
the
think it's
Game Boy
Tetris.
version
Yes, yes.
by Bulletproof Software. The game that sold
Yeah.
30 million copies or 35 million copies.
Thank you. Yes.
And this was the game that really took the Game Boy through the roof. Now, had they do Super Mario Land, it probably wouldn't. It probably still be successful, but not as much because Tetris was the game that everybody was playing in 1999. And because we had the NES version of the game that would later come in August or September of '89, and it lacked a two-player experience, but yeah, I mean, I still can't get over the fact that there was no two-player option in the Nintendo version. But somewhere on the internet you'll be able to search it up for yourself, which I'm not going to get into in the stream. Um, but yeah, so Tetris was one of those games that was a seller, a huge seller for the Game Boy. Now, like I said, Tetris was at 30 million, 35 million with the Game Boy. Super Mario Land did really well, and I hate to say this, but it outsold Super Mario Brothers 3. I know it's a shocker because Super Mario 3 is one of my all-time favorite video games of all time. And I don't know what that noise is, but anyway. But yeah, I'm hearing some noise and whatnot. So, yeah, so Super Mario Land was the best-selling Game Boy game, selling 18 million copies, and it did well for the game, and it kind of gave Mario a whole new meaning of having his adventure in a portable handheld like the Game Boy. So this was pretty revolutionary at the time for the console or
Remix,
for
I'll
the
be back
handheld
on
rather.
I'll be back on the live chat. I'm going to. There's a problem with my iPad. Give me a second. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Give me one
But
second.
yeah,
All right.
so yeah.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you.
So
Okay,
it was
I'm
pretty
sorry.
something. So anyway, Luke, what are your thoughts about Super Mario Land beating out Super Mario Brothers 3 in terms of sales?
Well, in terms of sales, first things first. As I mentioned earlier, pretty shocking, I know. And for the rest of the face about Game Boy, I'm gonna tell you this way. I'm not playing Game Boy until Game Boy Advance.
In
That was
2001, yeah.
yeah, that was
Which
until
I had. And by the way, I had pretty much all the Game Boy except for Pocket and Micro,
yeah.
but I had everything else. And yeah, the GBA was awesome because it could not only do GBA games, but it was also backwards compatible, and that is why the GBA really sold really well because in order for that to be successful, you have to have backwards compatibility, and the GBA
Yeah.
certainly did because it played Game Boy and Game Boy Color games, and that's the reason why like I said, this was 2001, 2002, and people still wanted to play these old Game Boy games that we had lying around in the case,
Tell me about it.
and witness those games again. And we wanted to, enjoy the classic Game Boy games that we still love today. And the GBA really, really did just that. And yeah, GBA was awesome. I had one.
And you know the funny thing is too, folks. Here's what you and when I watch these commercials in the early 2000s, I watched the commercials of Game Boy Advance video. That was a
Hmm.
flaw. I never seen these before in my life, but it was just like wow. I haven't got to these years later, so I thought it'd be best to watch it as an adult even. So that's just my advice.
Well, and the funny thing is, I actually wanted a Game Boy Advance video, but I never got one and whatnot because, well, I didn't know what to think of it, and I just really never got it. But yeah, Game Boy Advance video was kind of a unique way to watch, TV show that you could watch in the Game Boy, and it wasn't really a video game. It was an accessory, or a software, if you will, that would play the TV titles. Now, there was besides Sonic X and SpongeBob and the Nicktoon
Which I grew
collection
up
and
with.
all of that. There was one show that I think Luke will probably know what it is because this was on GBA video, and that is Super Monkey Team Hyper Force
Oh,
Go, which was
no,
on the Game Boy Advance video, which
yeah,
would be really nice to take that program with you in the palm of your hands, and especially the GBA, the SP that had a much better backlit screen to watch the content. So this was pretty cool, but like I said, there were a lot of issues, especially the compression was bad, and it just
yeah,
didn't look great on a Game Boy Advance screen. And I mean, it was just kind of rough on the edges, if you will.
yeah. It's just like when I saw it, the commercial, I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to get this one, but I never saw it. I never got a chance to buy it until there was some bugs and issues.
Yeah. So, but anyway, so there you go on that. So, but yeah, guys, again, the Game Boy was truly something magical that gave us gaming on the go, and we still take it for granted, still to this day, with the Switch
Yeah,
2, Nintendo's best-selling console, behind the first Switch. And the Switch, when that came out, it really turned over to a whole new leaf for the company, and gave us not only the ability to play the game on the television, but if you want to take it with you, like on the bus or on a trip or on an appointment, if you will, and if you want to play something quick and not play a lengthy game, this was the way to go.
yeah. Oh man,
Thank you, Remix. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
here it is.
Awesome. Sorry about that. Remix?
Yes, I'm
Sorry
here.
about that. Sorry about that.
Uh huh.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, I was just mentioning about I don't know what I mentioned. I think Luke can keep me up
Alright.
to speed, or keep you up to
Yeah.
speed, or whoever wants to keep up to speed. Because it's like a Teletubby trying to run, and it goes so slow, and then try to reach the finish line, and then all of a sudden he just,
Yeah.
the Teletubby just goes down, sleeps, and then just sleeps all day, and all that nonsense. But anyway, I'm getting off track. I'm getting off track because this is not about Teletubbies. This is about the Nintendo Game Boy.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, yeah. Nintendo Switch. Yeah. So, but yeah, and Nintendo Switch was really truly something that we take it again for granted today. Portable gaming, and with Apple, with the iPads and everything, people playing games on their iPads, and iPads have really been the best way possible to play games and whatnot, especially on a mid-range or a high-end range iPad like what Luke has with the iPad Pro, which is not only a great computer replacement, if you will, but also it can be a powerful gaming device because this is something that you can, that you can really show the capability of what an iPad Pro can do versus a mid-range or even an entry-level iPad like the one I'm using right now to do the stream on YouTube. So, and without the Game Boy, we wouldn't have like portable gaming. We wouldn't
Mm-hmm.
transform our iPads into a gaming thing because I use it to play games, and I love this thing, and portable gaming is what it is, and it's all thanks to Nintendo with the Game Boy,
Ow.
and really took it up a whole new level of portability, and taking your favorite game with you on a road trip
Yep.
or pretty much anywhere, and as long as you could see the screen of the puke screen, as I like to call it, of the '89 Game Boy. Again, you can take it with you. Now, as I mentioned earlier, what made the Game Boy super great was the library of software that you would find on the Game Boy. And the Game Boy was truly something magical in terms of why the Game Boy really did well. And
Uh-huh.
that had to do with the amazing software library, or as I like to say, software library. And it really took it into a whole new level of, like I said before. So, but yeah, so it wasn't just about, the quality of the product, but also what kind of software you would want to play the Game Boy games in. And I gotta tell you, with growing up with this thing, I mean, playing games on the Game Boy brings me back memories to the games that I had growing up with my Game Boy. Some games that got left behind, and the games that I cherish still to this day. So,
Yeah.
so the amazing amount of software is what made the Game Boy a one of a kind experience, and again, why the Game Boy, took over this handheld because the waifus they just simply couldn't keep up because again, the battery life and the lack of software, and they and people want to play games. They want to have fun and enjoy the games. They just and that's what they want with the device. They want to have a good time with it, and they truly deliver on that. So the kind of software for the Game Boy, well, there's all kinds of great games up, and we lost Chris, but he'll be back. But just the amazing amount of games.
I'm back. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. Did
Yeah, it's
I?
all
Can you
right.
hear me? I cannot hear you.
Yes, yes.
Hold up. Wait. No, wait. Hold up. I lost.
All right, folks, we're
I have no
having
idea what's going
technical
on with my
difficulty.
speaker here.
So hang tight, folks, as we will continue with the whole software thing. But yeah, look again. Game Boy Advance video was truly something for Game Boy Advance.
It was truly something.
and being able to watch a cartoon on this thing. And there was even a full. They even released one that had a full length movie that you could watch, but they only had like I don't know 3 or
Am I back?
5 or maybe less. I don't know, but I
Yeah.
mean Shrek being one of them, and then
Correct.
I want to say a Shark's Tale was another one.
Shark Tale. I seen this in theaters.
But yeah, I mean, and like I said, the compression of the movie, it was just god awful. I mean, it was just pitiful. It's like a pixelated mess. It's like and
Who
Chris
made
is
this
gone
like
again.
that?
Yeah, I think Chris is having some
Yeah.
difficulties with his device.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean. But yeah, I mean, who would want to sit there for 60 minutes, look at a pixelated pile of dog crap, and they can just watch the movie on DVD or even Blu-ray. But like I said, it was really innovative, but at the same time, it was a granulated, pixeled mess.
Whew, man.
Sorry, I'm back. Sorry about that.
You're fine.
Okay. But yeah, it was just a pixelated mess from start to finish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who made this big old mess, dude?
How about that?
Yeah, exactly.
Next.
I would just imagine too if this was gonna continue on, maybe they could have put like I don't know, put like shows that were on I don't know like seeing Teletubbies on a Game Boy Advance video and seeing a pixelated Tinky Winky and then Dipsy and then Lala and Poe and then it's all pixelated and they're like this is not clear. I want to see them in clarity. What is this pixelated garbage? Why they look funny on the Game Boy Advance?
I'm looking it up.
I mean, it's like, do you guys know how to use compression? Or did a 7-year-old did it? I don't know.
I don't know either, to be honest.
But yeah. Anyway, yeah, it was really cool. But at the same time, I mean, yeah, it's just something else.
There's just no Teletubbies. Oh wow. They have like one of my favorite shows. But not my story. Whoopie-doo.
Yeah, exactly.
But, SpongeBob, Rocket Power, Fairy Odd Parents.
Oh, Water Power is my favorite. Love Water Power.
Dave Fed, there was another one. A Disney channel you can watch like Lilo and Stitch, the series, which Kim Possible, and then Bright Miss Wizard, which I grew up with that show, and The Proud Family, another show I grew up with, and Liz McGuire. Now Cartoon Network. Don't get me started on Ed, Ed, A. I hate it.
Yeah, we won't talk about that.
Thank you. Courage Cowardly Dog was another great show. And
we won't talk about that.
You're not going to love that show. Johnny Bravo, then Graham, and eventually Millie Natty, and there's there's a bunch of vlogs, and then Code Naked Next Door. Then I imagine featuring films already. And then I hate Pokemon, but anyway, then there's Dragon Ball GT, and you mentioned that earlier.
Yeah, Dragon Ball. Yeah.
Yeah. Then Strawberry Shortcake. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the 2000.
Yeah, I forgot about that one.
French, not
and that Super
English.
Monkey Team as well. That was on there as well.
Yeah, but the 2003 version is only in French, not in English. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles one, and Yu-Gi-Oh only in French, not in English.
Yeah.
And the cancel titles are as follows: Kirby right back at ya.
Oh yeah, yep.
Powerpuff Girls, which I see as a kid, was a great show. Then Sonic X Volume 2.
Sonic X, yep. That was on Game Boy Advance video.
And then Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Volume 2.
And I hate to say this too, Luke. I know you're gonna get me for this, but Pokemon was also on Game Boy Advance video as well.
I just imagine that. I'm like, what?
But I'm just saying. Moving on.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Volume 2. And then Dragon Ball GT Volume 2. Yep,
Yeah.
no. But that was it. Nothing happened.
Mm-hmm.
So other than that, no. And I saw some maybe Sesame Street on there on Muppet Wiki, and I don't know what happened. But anyway, that was going on Game Boy Advance video. That was it.
Yeah.
And just
So
that was from here. But anyway,
again, so if we look at some of the software titles on the Game Boy, again, many people, they want to collect Game Boy games, but and they have to do it in such a way, like getting it on eBay or go to a thrift store or at a gaming store, that sells retro games, even GameStop retro, which, yeah, I mean, it's like you find the yellow brick road and then you see nothing but rainbow of retro games right there.
yeah, I'm like,
You
really?
know,
And when
yeah,
I saw this, it's called Bill Record Media. I'm like, what is going on? I didn't want to film that. I started filming making projects in 2006, and you gotta do that? Really?
hmm
And it just messed up. It's called Game Boy Advance Video Pack. No, it's called Great Recovery, which serves to distinguish it to a regular game packs. That's what it says. This is messed
okay,
up. Like, how long can you get? I never want to play as a kid, never play as an adult. Like, what is going on?
yeah,
Anyway, move on.
indeed. So, but anyway, um, oh, I forgot to do this. Oops. Well,
Anyway,
let's show it. Sorry, folks, I forgot to have the scrolling thing on the bottom. Um, but anyway, there you go. So.
there you go,
So
folks.
let's talk about the amazing library of software that the Nintendo Game Boy had. Now, there's obviously the launch titles from the console. Handheld. I don't know why I keep saying console. Handheld.
Now,
Obviously, Super Mario Land being famous, of course, selling 18 million copies. A game that everybody played, me included. I love the game so much. Not a lot of people like the first one, and on the internet it says the worst Mario game. I'm like, really, dude?
really?
How about Hotel Mario? Then we talk.
Let me talk.
Or one of those educational games on the NES and Super Nintendo. Then we'll talk. Not Super Mario Land. Get out of here.
Get out of
Um,
here.
but
Bye.
anyway, yeah. So Super Mario Land. Uh, I know, really, right? Super Mario Land was the game that was. This was the only Mario game that was not done by Miyamoto. It was done by the creator of the Game and Watch and the Game Boy, the late great Gunpei Yokoi. He was the one that did this game for the Game Boy, and why it was truly different and special than what the Miyamoto Super Mario Brothers game on the home console. And while people still love Super Mario Land, and I would agree to certain, as a lifelong gamer and everything, there is some issues with the game that I have. One is the game is really short. I think there's about like 12 levels. So it's kind of a short game, if you will. The controls, you have to get used to the controls, the momentum, because unlike Super Mario Bros., which has tight controls, Super Mario Land is something that you have to be really careful of when you're doing a lot of platforming. Because if you mistime your jump in that game, you're gonna fall off to your doom, and that caused a lot of head banging and all that stuff when playing the game. I mean, I can test to that, but I don't go into a rage like other people because they simply don't have brain cells like I do.
Oh,
But
geez.
I know.
Chris.
I mean, it's oh crap. Oh well, wait. Oh, but I mean, losing brain cells. Okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. Chris is. Yeah, I think Chris is having a issue with either with his internet or his device.
Yeah.
Um, but well, we're getting back, folks. I know that he's experiencing some technology problems, and we all have technology problems, and it's gonna happen one way or the other. So he'll be back with us.
Yeah, we'll swap.
Um, but yeah, so if you don't make that control, if you don't make that jump, and you just fall into your doom, and then and yeah, you're gonna cry, obviously.
Yeah.
And yes, my headphones shipped.
Anyway.
And yes, my headphones have shipped, and it's coming on Tuesday. So sorry, folks. I just wanted to look at the app here while I'm doing the stream. So yes, I got my Soundcore headphones coming, the replacement. I'm so happy, and now I gotta add Chris back.
There we go. There you go.
There we go. All right.
Hi, I'm back. My internet sucks. Sorry to hear that. Sorry about that.
SMH. I agree, Chris. I agree.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. So,
But yeah, so
dealing with the
if
worst kind of. Go ahead, remix.
yeah, you're having issues.
It's been lasting for too long, and I'm gonna call and complain about it tomorrow. I know
Well, like I
ruins
said,
the
you can.
show.
Well, you can like be in the chat, because I know that internet has its own issues and everything. So,
Yes, it's been like no, it's been lasting too long. Yeah, it's been lasting too long.
but anyway, I was saying, again, the game has, the game is short, and you gotta be really careful, timing your jumps in the
Gotcha.
game, and you have to make sure that because like I said, the momentum is kind of off on the Super Mario Land game, because again, tight controls on Super Mario Brothers what made the game so successful. But yeah, so and if you mistime your jump, you're gonna end up falling to your doom. Doing a lot of platforming and whatnot. So the controls, they're kind of finicky, but in a way, it isn't bad for the first game in the series. And I will say too, the music in Super Mario Land is fantastic, especially the ending theme. Probably the best that you will hear on the Game Boy, composed by Hip Tanaka, who did Metroid and did Dr. Mario, and Dr. Mario has an awesome soundtrack too, as well as
Yeah,
Kid Icarus. So yeah, if you don't know who Hip Tanaka is, then where have you been? You've been living under a rock.
exactly.
But yeah, so that's that.
Yep.
But yeah, so overall, I think Super Mario Land. I think it was an excellent launch title for the Game Boy. Because like I said, we all had it as a kid. I had it. I'm sure Chris had one too. But yeah,
I pretty
yeah,
much
we
did.
both
Yeah.
had the launch title of the game.
Yeah.
But yeah, Super Mario Land was easily the best
Yeah.
game on the Game Boy, and 18 million copies. It seems logical to have a Mario game on a portable handheld. Now the next game that I didn't have, sadly, but I know Chris probably had, a breakout clone known as Alleyway,
Yeah, I had Alleyway for a
which is a
short
really
time. Yeah.
cool breakout clone. I
Yes, that
believe
was
the
a
game
good
is
game.
playable on the Switch Online. I do
Yeah, I
believe
played
it's playable on
Alleyway.
that.
Yeah. Alleyway had the great SFX.
But yeah, Alleyway is a really cool game. Obviously, baseball, tennis, golf. The classic sports that love and whatnot. And baseball, not as good as RBI baseball. I mean, Luke can tell you that, because again, he was just blown away with like Tad Hewitt, and RBI baseball for game one. Wait till you see game two.
Yeah,
You're
right.
you're gonna you're gonna fall off your seat when you see game two. Uh,
Yeah.
I don't want anybody to be injured because this thing happened on the thing. It's like, oh no, what's going on? But anyway, um, so another game, Solo Striker was another one that I haven't had, but I played it. It's a good, it's pretty good. Um, I really can't think of anything else that came out in '89 except for those launch titles, like I said, and obviously Tetris, which was a pack-in with the Game Boy. And in my youth, it was either between the Game Boy, where you get the Game Boy and the batteries, and that was about it, no game pack, or get the Game Boy with the game Tetris inside, and that's the one that I had. I had two of those because I broke the first time. The second time, like, okay, you gotta not do that because you're gonna end up, because this is a lot of money. You gotta be careful because this is like 90, $100 in '89 money. So I'm like, okay, don't do that again. Don't break this again, or you won't have it again. So learn that the second time. Thank you to my late aunt. Love you and all that good stuff. So, um, bless her heart. So, but yeah, so that's the one I had. It was, and like I said, the box art is so iconic. You have a picture of the Game Boy, and you even seen it on the box art on the YouTube thumbnail for this stream. It's a picture of the Game Boy, and it had Tetris on it, and it's just like, this is so iconic. This is the one that I had that had with, that came with a game of Tetris for the Game Boy, and that's the one I had. Now the other one, like I said, didn't have a game pack. It was a basic set that all you get was the Game Boy, and that's the one that I think everybody had. Or if they had a game on the Game Boy, they could get the game of their choosing, not just what Nintendo provided. But yeah, I mean, there was so many great Game Boy games that we still play today. But yeah, so those are the launch titles. And the games that really made Game Boy a huge success was not just Tetris, but later on in Nintendo Game Boy's life was the Pokemon craze. I know, Luke, I'm going to say that again, but it was Pokemon that really redefined Game Boy sales and for the handheld and everything. So I have to say Pokemon because it really did made the Game Boy what it is. Besides Tetris. So yeah, Pokemon was that as well. So thank you, Luke, for letting me say that and that sort of thing. I guess Luke is gonna like take a nap and take the Z's. Okay. Well, anyway. Um,
Yeah.
but I mean, really, Pokemon really did well for the handheld. Um, so anyway,
Gotcha. Yeah.
but yeah, so third party games, third party companies, they gave us some of the most awesomeness video games of the Game Boy's lifespan. And some of the games that I had as a kid growing up, and I'm sure Chris had some growing up. Again, Luke, he didn't get introduced to the Game Boy until the Game Boy events in 2001, 2002. But like I said, for me,
Well, that
the Game Boy was my
like
life.
2010, so that's when I first introduced to Game Boy Advance, not 2021 or 22.
Oh, well. Anyway, but yeah, so Game Boy was my life and everything from the '90s, and I still cherish it still to this day. If I can get my vocabulary fit, because you know how that is. Um, so um, but yeah, the Game Boy was my life because I had so many cool games that I had on the Game Boy. So I might as well talk about it because I think this is where the game in this stream where the Game Boy really shines, and it's the amazing library of software. The games that I had on the system, and the games that I would later play, uh, because it was just so awesome. So obviously, I had Tetris for the Game Boy. That's a bit obvious. Um, Then I had Super Mario Land.
Yes.
I had 1 and 3. I never had the second one. But I love the second one. It's so awesome. It's one of the best Mario games ever made. Um, let's see, and a game that not a lot of people have heard. Now these are the third party companies. SETA, SETA. I had a game from them called Q Billion, which is a puzzle game that you control a mouse, and it was your job to make the numbers disappear in the block. And it was a really weird game, and this was a really lengthy
Oh,
game too, because you had so many levels and so many puzzles you had to do. It was a pretty lengthy puzzle game, but again, not a lot of people have heard of it because it's a game by Sega Corporation, who would later do one of the worst Super Nintendo games ever, and that's The Wizard of Oz, and I'm sure Luke can attest to that. Excuse me. So.
yeah.
So that's that. What else? So let's see. Um, I obviously had Tetris 2, the sequel to the first one. I remember getting that at a local Walmart in my hometown, in my home state. And this was, like I said, the game came out in 1993, so I bought it at that Walmart. I can remember it vividly. It was
Yeah.
1994, start of the 1994 in the New Year's.
Yes.
That's when I got my copy of Tetris 2 for the Game Boy, because I had the first one and I loved it a lot, and I wanted to see what Tetris 2 was all about. And it was unlike any Tetris game that I've seen, because of the success of the original. And Tetris 2 took on a whole new dimension of the game. It was kind of like combining Dr. Mario with the Tetris mixed in, and you got bombs and everything, and that's what kind of made the game really unique in a way. It didn't do as well as the first one, but it did well enough. But it didn't, because again, people, like, don't mess with the formula that made the game so phenomenal. And Tetris 2 was truly something of its own kind, because it was also on the NES as well, and I had the NES version that I got as a Christmas gift of 90 of either 93 or 94. So I had both copies of the game on NES and Game Boy. Never had the Super Nintendo version. I think I like the Super Nintendo one a lot more because the music is much better in the Super Nintendo version, and yeah, it was really cool. So I liked the Super Nintendo version of it more than I do with the Game Boy and NES, but they're still fun to play, especially going against a computer player in both of these versions. It's a lot of fun. It's probably going to be the game where you have to use cuss words because a computer player beats you, and
Yeah.
then and you get a
Definitely.
hard spanking by the computer player because
Really.
you suck at it, and the computer player laughs at you, and it wins, and that's how you fail and you cry, and it makes you want to cry when you lose to a computer player, get beat like a girl. All right, I
Yep.
can test to that, and that's what I'm gonna say about that. All right, so there
Yeah.
you go. Get beat by a little girl, that's okay. That's the part of the game. You don't just sit there and throw a temper tantrum and throw the Game Boy down because that was a really expensive,
Yeah. Exactly.
and it's yeah, because I learned a valuable lesson on
Yeah.
that. And why at 37 years old, I play the game. I just enjoy it. If I lose, it doesn't matter. It's not going to hurt me in a way because it's just a video game.
Yeah.
You
I
live
used to
with
be
it.
that
You
way.
just enjoy the game, and you buy the software because that's why you do it in the first place. You buy software to make it appealing to you and everything else. Right, Luke? Software. Okay, thumbs up from Mr. Jeffers. All right, thumbs all the way up, like Christmas dinner, on Thanksgiving.
Must tell you, yeah. I must tell you,
Yeah, go
Remix, I
ahead.
like that too. I used to throw my controllers,
Mm-hmm.
the games. I used to break cartridges when I got pissed off at the game for not winning at it. But then I realized it's only a game, maybe. I don't know. It's sort of like
Yeah.
what Mike Matei does.
No, yeah.
Mike Matei, he says swear words.
No, I know. He always, for the Hissy fan, he always likes to criticize everything because
James Rolfe. I like James
he's really something else. He's just,
I know.
I don't know.
I like them both.
Um,
I watch
yeah.
them
So
sometimes.
Tetris 2 was the game that I had on the Game Boy, and I bought that at a Walmart.
Yeah, cool.
Another game. Now, here's the thing. This next one from Konami. Out of all the games I had by Konami slash Ultra, I only had two out of the entire library of Konami games, and I would later play them as well. And they're both from 1990.
Yes.
One is my favorite, and it's the easiest, better than the NES one, and another one that was a Japan that was only released in Japan, but it came out on the Game Boy here in North America, and that was the only time that we could play that game. That was a puzzle hybrid game from them. And again, this was a Japan only game, and then it was released on Game Boy in North America. And that game I got it at a Kmart in my hometown in my home state before they closed when I moved out of my home state in '97.
Yeah.
Um, and this was truly something. So, um, but yeah, so one of the games that I had is a game that I'm sure that you guys would like this better on Game Boy than you would on the NES. It's much easier on the Game Boy because it wasn't frustrating like it was on the NES version. Because I had the NES version, and I couldn't play it because it was so difficult, and it was a major pain. And you only get limited continues, which is not fun. But yeah, so and I never had to use a continue. Well, actually, there's no continues in the Game Boy version. What am I talking about? I never got a game over because I usually beat that game because I never see a game over. The only time I see a game over is when I beat the game and then the game still laughs at me like, oh well, you won the game, but you still get a game over. Screw you. But thank you for playing our game.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. That's that. Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway,
If I know
in all seriousness.
anyway.
Yeah, so that game is and by the way, it's also on the collection as well, which I have on PS5, Xbox, and Switch. And that is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Fall of the Foot Clan from 1990.
Wow.
This
Cool.
game is scream nostalgia for me and for the Game Boy because this was a game that I played all the time on the Game Boy. I plug it in, turn on the Game Boy, see that famous Ultra Games logo, and then the title screen, and then start the game, go to stage 1 to 5, play the really cool mini games on there, like the third one, which is my favorite,
Okay.
and just play the game and enjoy the game. And yeah, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Fall of the Foot Clan. Wow, this game is truly something. This is my favorite Ninja Turtles game ever.
Never.
And getting audio feedback from Chris.
What do you
Wow, I
mean?
want to hear
Nah.
that. Yeah.
Okay. Well, no, I was just,
Control what I can control.
I was, okay.
But
Well, no, I was
it's
just
bad.
hearing something in the background, but it's alright.
Are we good? Are we good? Are we good?
Yeah.
Yeah. I got my headphones on,
Yes.
so I had to clean up something. So
Okay.
go ahead, continue. I'm sorry.
Okay. Well, they still didn't send me anything on Walmart, but that's okay. Alright, so yeah, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Fall of the Foot Clan. Oh man, I don't want to see her face. Get out of my TV screen. Anyway,
Yeah. Do that.
what was I saying? Oh yeah, so Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Fall of the Foot Clan. This was the game that I personally enjoyed, and it's my personal favorite out of the whole Ninja Turtles game. I preferred this over the one on the NES because again, NES was so difficult. This one, um, I just loved it. I mean, now yes, the game is short. It only has 5 stages. Um, but you know what? It didn't really matter because I enjoyed this game, and this is a really cool Konami game, and I really enjoyed the heck out of it. And then when I saw it as a playable game in the Cowabunga collection, I had to buy it. I had to buy it on PS5, and I had to buy it on the Switch because I wanted to have that game in my bedroom, and I could play it on a modern console.
Yeah.
But yeah, Fall of the Foot Clan. If you haven't seen it, if you haven't played it, do so because it is awesome. It's a great game. I love Fall of the Foot Clan. That's like my favorite Ninja Turtles game ever. And it came out in 1990 by Konami.
Oh, cool.
And I think they made 3 of the Ninja Turtles games on the Game Boy. But again, the first one, I always go back to it because it just gives me that nostalgia feeling when I had a Game Boy. And not only that, I hear great music as well in the game from like stage 2 or stage 1. You know, the theme to the song from the show. Even in the like in the underground, I tell you, it just screams nostalgia for me because it brings back so many great memories of that game and hearing that song. When I think you can hear it in like stage 1 when you get past like the streets, and then you go into the underground or somewhere in the game, and you get to hear that really awesome song. It just gets you into that '90s spirit. And yeah, I just love this game so much. Fall of the Foot Clan, one of my favorite games on the Game Boy. And that's a game that screams and it brings back nostalgia for me. Um, and then when it was on the Cowabunga collection, I had to buy it. I mean, forget the NES version of Turtles. I wanted it just so I can. Well, it's not just that, but I just wanted to play it on a PS5 and a Switch.
Sorry about that, everyone. I just had a voice message from Billy.
Okay. Well, Billy, don't forget your pom poms and watch out for Mr. Bucket. Okay. Back to you.
He said this following.
And I wanted to let you and Remix know, as well as Chris knows about this, that on Monday I'm heading to the Stomping Ground video game store, not too far from Main Street, right off of Northwest 23rd Avenue. They have a lot of Wii games available. I picked up TV show King Party on the first week that I returned to the game store. Then last Monday, I went back and got me a new copy of NCAA Football 09 for the Wii. And then when I go, I'm getting a new copy of Toy Story 3 for the Nintendo Wii.
Which is going to be on PS5.
And that will lead me up to the newest roundup collection of Toy Story games for the Nintendo Switch and Nintendo Switch 2. But when it comes out in October, I'm getting the Nintendo Switch version. And I might be getting it this Christmas. I don't know.
Because you can't afford the Switch
The
2.
Nickelodeon Splat Pack and the Disney Afternoon Collection.
Which I'm getting on both.
As far as my birthday is concerned, as far as the games go for my birthday, I'm getting MLB The Show 26 and possibly MLB The Show 22. So just to let you know.
It's good.
And don't forget your pom poms too, Billy. Love you. Okay.
Well, lady, I didn't know you were doing this. So
and your tutu.
Let me tell
and
you
your
something.
instant karma, part of nutritious breakfast.
I had no way of knowing that you were going to get all this stuff, Billy. But good for you, and I hope you enjoy your new prizes or whatever you bought. I know you're going to have a good time with them. So,
if you watch this, Billy.
I don't watch Billy.
Yeah, we love you, Billy, and don't forget your pom poms.
But thing is, I'm not on social media. Period.
Yeah, I know.
So,
Exactly.
other reasons.
I'm on multiple social media lanes, but just let Chris know about it. Anyway.
Whatever, that suits you.
Well,
yourself.
Well,
don't do
cameo appearance from Mr. Moody, and
All right, very good.
hopefully I'll see Mr. Moody probably tomorrow or whenever he gets out of his reality and Mr. Bucket and want to play with his what.
Yeah!
And probably he'll get a Game Boy for his birthday.
Well, I feel a lot better hearing that.
And some chocolate chip cookies and cake and popping balloons with Teletubbies.
Yeah, that would be exciting.
All while racing a vehicle of whatever vehicle he has. If it's an Acura, give a shout out to the fine folks at Acura in Georgia. Otherwise, Luke will kick your butt.
That would be good.
Well, anyway, thank you, Billy, on that. And now we get back into the Game Boy. Because remember, Billy, it's the Game Boy's birthday, and don't you disrespect the Game Boy.
Don't you respect the Game Boy.
Because this was, like I said, if it wasn't for the Game Boy, we wouldn't have portable gaming.
I know. Right?
I tell you, Billy, get on your tutu. Or dress up like a princess. I don't know. But anyway, enough of the shenanigans. The other game that I had, which was, like I said, I only had 2 of the games that had the Ultra label. That was a division of Konami. This was a puzzle hybrid game that I know that probably none of you have ever heard of. But I can tell you this. This was a game that started out first in Japan by Konami, and it was a hybrid puzzle game, kind of like Tetris. And you had these blocks coming down slowly, and you had to shoot to fill up the square and to complete a wall. And you had to do it. And if the blocks came down near your playing field, your character goes kaboom, and it's game over.
Yeah. Cool.
But again, we never got this game here in America for the NES. It was only on Famicom. But in 1990, Konami released it for the Game Boy.
Oh, wow.
And I remember getting this at my local Kmart store in 1991, because this game is from 1990.
Yeah.
So this game that I had is a game called Quirth. Quaarth. And that's the game that I had in the 1990s, especially 91, like I said, that I had at that I bought at Kmart.
Yeah. Yes.
So let me pull this up here, and I'll just show it to you guys here when I can find it here.
Yeah, I'm currently downloading the show right now, but I'm doing that while you show me this,
Yeah.
But it just takes me a while to download ESPN, Japanese, and Disney Plus to keep streams. But anyway, it's a follow-up of files. But anyway.
But yeah, so again, out of the whole library of Ultra games / Konami, again, I only had 2.
Yeah.
Because I wanted the other games too, like Nemesis and
and the
other one, but
which
I never did. I never did.
I would have loved to have Nemesis myself too.
And I didn't have Motocross Maniacs either.
I had that one. That was good. I had Motocross Maniacs. That was all right. That was good.
You have Toy Story with the Game Boy, which I still have in the house.
Well, I had that game too. I didn't really care for it, and that game was by Disney Interactive and Traveler's Tales.
Yeah. Now, I said, I was 16, when they're supposed to be 16, and that was stupid back then, saying, that's not fair. Like, what did I say? What did I just do? I don't want to say that. Like, and that was my own fault.
Well, anyway, here's the game that I was talking about earlier, so here it is.
Okay.
Yes.
That's the game.
Oh, cool. Yep. Quarter.
This was the only game that was on the Game Boy. This was only in Japan on the Famicom, and then this was here in America for the Game Boy. Again, what this is, again, this is a puzzle hybrid. So if you love Tetris, it had the it has a the puzzle game element, and if you love puzzle games, this is a really cool game to play. And again, I mean, you know, yeah. So you got these blocks coming down, and you have to shoot the thing to clear a wall of the square. And again, if the blocks come near your playing field, it's game over. And yeah, this game is pretty long too, and it gets really difficult as you progress through the game. It gets really tough when you beat stage three, and then the blocks just coming down at a high rate of speed, a blistering speed, and you have to be on your toes because you got blocks coming down, and you got to use your power ups to stop it from moving, and that way you have a better chance of clearing all the stuff in. Because again, you don't want the blocks going down to your play field, because that's where you make a oopsie, if you will. But yeah, this game is really cool. This is a great puzzle game. If you love puzzle games, give this game a shot. This is, again, under the Ultra Games label. This is the one, again, that I had at a Kmart. I bought it at a Kmart store, and I was pretty happy to have this game. It was really cool. So that's the game. So again, it's called Quirth, Qualth,
Okay,
and it's a game from 1990.
okay. I thought it was start with the D. Not it was a Q. I'll shut up.
No, nothing like that, Luke. All right, now I want to get rid of it.
Hard to pronounce this game. They only made it in Japan.
Yeah, I know it is for me too. I can't get rid of it. What the heck? All right, wait a minute. I'm gonna get rid of this once and for all.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's the game. All right, say goodbye to that.
Yeah, bye.
So that's a game that I had. And again, I had Super Mario Land 3 Wario Land that I talked about earlier from 1994. And I gotta tell you, the music in that game is amazing, especially the water level. It is beautiful. And if you liked the Game Boy version of that water level from that game, you will love the MIDI version of it. It is so quiet, so calming, especially when it's raining outside. I know, Luke, you don't like the rain as much, but when it rains outside, you you put that song on, you pump it up, and it's all calm, relaxed, and enjoyment. And yeah, the music in that game is great, and I love Super Mario Land 3 Wario Land. This was not only the last Mario Land game, but it was also the first for the Wario Land series, which started in 1994. And this is truly something amazing that I love. And yeah, so this is a game that I had. And I truly like the game. I wished I had a copy of Super Mario Land 2 6 golden coins.
Okay.
But I never owned that game, and it was a shame too, because again, at first I didn't like the game because of the controls, but then once I realized, you know what, this is actually an awesome game. Why am I skipping two? If I'm just going, play the first one again, play it again because I love it, and then go to three and skip two and just go to three, and just play that instead. But yeah, that was really dumb of me, but at the same time, yeah, Super Mario Land 2, I think it's my personal favorite of the series. I love the first one. The third one's good. A lot of treasure hunting that you gotta do in the third one, because you're Wario, and you have to be the greediest, Monopoly, all that other stuff, and it's your job to do whatever, Yeah, so that's Wario Land. But yeah, Super Mario Land 2, easily the best game and one of my personal favorites as well, even though I never owned a copy of it, which is sad.
Sad.
I know, and I'm face palming every day because why did I not have a copy of that game?
Yeah, exactly.
You know, why did I not have it? Because it was just it's just sad. I mean, I really wanted this game. I never owned it, and I'm like, oh well, sucks
Brian,
to be you, I guess. But yeah, so haven't had this. So like I said, I only had Super Mario Land and Super Mario Land 3, and that was about it.
that's about it, folks.
Oh, and looks like okay, yes. Now I'm waiting for my other one to
Oh
ship,
wow, good. That's
and
good. Yeah. Woohoo, yes. Yes.
they're still trying to find somebody. It's like, oh well, let's play with Where's Waldo. Let's eeny meeny miny mo.
Yeah.
Oh, Tad Hewitt.
Waldo! Where are
Yeah, exactly.
you? Oh my god.
So there's that one. Now the other games I had, let's see. Oh, how could I forget? 1994. This was an awesome year for video games. That's oh boy, I'm gonna say this too. And this is my by the way, whenever I do a top whatever of the Game Boy, this game is number one in my list. As I can say, one of my favorite Game Boy games of all time, my number one. My number one from 1994. This game took it to a whole new level because not only you had the arcade game that you could play from 1 to 4, and then when you beat that last level, you think the game is over, but all of a sudden you're just getting started on playing one of the most amazing, and I just say the greatest Game Boy game ever created of that year. And you got 9 different areas to explore. And not only it's good fun and it's platforming fun, but there's a lot of puzzle solving that you have to do in the game, and it makes the game playable still to this day. And this game is finally playable on the Nintendo Switch Online. And that, ladies and gentlemen, this is a masterpiece of its own kind, like Super Mario Bros. 3 on the NES. My number one and the game that I love that I had, Donkey Kong.
Wow.
Or as I like to say, Donkey Kong 94. But either way, whatever title you come up with, this was the game. This was the groundbreaking game of 1994. Why do I love the game so much? Because it's easily the best game ever made. And if people can't agree with me on that, well, there's something wrong with you.
Something wrong with you. Screw you.
Yeah, exactly. So why do I love this game? Why do I keep coming back? Well, because not only you get to play the arcade levels from 1 to 4, and then after you get done, you go through a whole new experience with the game. With you as Mario, and then you got Donkey Kong, and then you got Pauline, and when you see that giant key, it's like, oh wow, this is a whole new gaming experience that I have never seen before in a game. And I picked up and played it, and this is a Game Boy certified masterpiece. This is the greatest Game Boy game of known to man. This is the best game I've ever played. So let's talk about it. The game, well, you simply have a key, and you have to get the key, and you gotta collect the items along the way. You can do it if you really want to. It's totally optional because you only get one ending of the game. So no matter what you do, you still get that one ending, no matter what. No good or bad ending. It's just you beat the game, you get the credits, and that's it. You only get one ending. So if you collect the items, great. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. Just enjoy the game as it was meant to be.
Exactly.
And yeah, so you got different levels to go through, like Bid City, Forest, Ship, the Jungle. One of my favorite areas, the desert. and then Airplane, and then you got Iceberg, and you got Wacky Valley, and to finish it off, the Tower, where it's you against Donkey Kong, and when you get up to 9-9, then you go to the final showdown with Donkey Kong, and you beat him to take 6 hits, and once you finally defeat him on that 6th hit, the game is over, and you beat the game in pure satisfaction, and you just played one of the greatest Game Boy games ever created, and that is Donkey Kong. And like I said, the puzzle solving and everything you gotta do in the game, it's amazing,
Yeah.
and the challenge is fun. It's addictive as hell. I'm gonna say that because it is. It's true. And overall, this is a game that I can consider to say, you know what? Play this game, because if you don't play this game, there is something wrong with you. This is a fantastic game, and it is the best game on the Nintendo Game Boy, and it's my number one.
Yeah.
Overall, number one is Donkey Kong. There is no other Game Boy game out there that can say it. Now, yes, Super Mario Land is up there, Tetris is on there, Donkey Kong Land, which I'll talk about as well. That's another game that I love. One of my favorite Donkey Kong games as well, from 1995, Luke's birth year. Um, and like I said, and again, the reason I picked Donkey Kong at number one, because it's a masterpiece. Just like I did with Super Mario Brothers 3 as the number one favorite NES game, on like I did with the top 40 that I did last year.
Yeah. Area.
And Donkey Kong is my number one on Game Boy, because again, you're not gonna find a game that's so that expands the Donkey Kong arcade game and make it into a whole new platform and fun. And you're not gonna find that creativity and playability of that game. There's no other game quite like it, and this game has a ton of replayability. If you beat the game, you want to play it all over again and just waste time and hours of fun. Yeah, I don't need to say anything else about this game. This game is a masterpiece. I love this game. This is one of the greatest Game Boy games I have ever played in my lifetime. And like I said, 1994 was such an amazing year for games as well. So without a doubt, Donkey Kong is easily my number one.
What happened?
Chris pushed the button.
Oh my god.
About Willis. Am I back yet?
Yep.
No, you have it all wrong. I didn't hit anything. I didn't press it. Nothing was pressed. It just cut me off. This internet is insane, I'm telling you. I've had about up to here with it. I'm sorry.
Yeah. You're fine.
Right, Remix? I'm sorry. Oh,
it's fine.
Just shaking my head. Thank you for understanding.
So, but yeah, so Donkey Kong. Yeah, I love this game, and now you can play the game on the Nintendo Switch Online membership. And I might want to do that before Nintendo decides to raise the price of the Switch Online membership, just like they're going to with the Switch 2 in September. So, but yeah, so you can play Donkey Kong 94 on the Switch and Switch 2 via online, and this was probably the game that I wanted to see on the Switch Online. Because yeah, we had Donkey Kong Land 1, 2, and 3, but why not the 94? And then when they finally announced it, I was just jumping for joy that this is the greatest game out there, and now it's going to be coming to Switch Online, and then that means I get to play it on a actual Nintendo hardware. For for the first time ever in like 31 years, we finally got this game on the Switch Online, and we can play it now on the Switch 2 and Switch.
Oh, thank God.
And it's an amazing game, I tell you. I really wanted this game on the Switch Online. And guess what? My answers have been answered, or my players have been answered. and I saw the game on the thing, and I'm like, finally, we got this amazing, awesome game on the Switch 2. So that's pretty much that. Now, the other games I had, let's see, another game I had from Will. This was the first one I had from Will, and this is a fighting game. You probably know what it is. It's a relation of Will and Nintendo. It came out on the Game Boy first, and then it came out on Super Nintendo. Although people play the Super Nintendo version because it's almost like the arcade experience from Midway, I believe. I had this game on the Game Boy because I thought it was really cool, and it has an excellent soundtrack by David Wise and Graham Norgate. Um, Even though the Game Boy version is not as good as the Super Nintendo version, because people really pan the Game Boy version port because you're limited to 2 buttons. Yeah, I know. It's just I know, Luke, but we'll have to move on and continue on because um. But again, as long as you guys are having a good time, that's all that matters on the stream. But yeah, yeah, many people complained about the Game Boy port because it just didn't live up to the standards than it was on the Super Nintendo.
Hi, am I back?
Yeah, you're back.
Sorry about that. Keeps.
I know. Yeah, so the game, and I also had this on Super Nintendo as well. The game is Killer Instinct.
Yeah.
This was the game that I had on the Game Boy. I had the Game Boy version first, and then I had the Super Nintendo version later on. I like the Game Boy version because I beat the game one time as Spinal. And then what else? Oh yeah, and obviously I played it with Saberwolf, and I didn't have a problem beating the game as Saberwolf, and I couldn't do it with other characters because again the combos and everything you gotta do in the game, and again you're only limited to B and A and the D pad, so not a lot of buttons on the Game Boy. So trying to do the combos was a really a huge pain. But I could beat the game as Saberwolf, and you can easily beat the game. And you go through each of the characters until you get into the final boss with Idol, and once you beat him and you knock him off the bridge, and you watch him fall to his doom with the lava pit down below, and then you see him in agony, screaming in agony and pain, and you beat the game, and you get the credits,
Yes.
and that's Killer Instinct.
Cool.
And I know, Luke, you can just picture in your head, Luke, you see Idol falling off the bridge, and he's falling down, and then you hear him scream, and then you'd be like, ah! And then you just watch him
That was
burn the crisp.
creepy. Yeah.
Like, run! Run away! Man! There's a... What? I don't know what that was. I don't know what it is. Anyway.
But yeah, and you see him burn to a crisp.
Yeah. It's like, run! The sky is falling! The sky is falling! But it's not even falling. Anyway.
Yeah, well...
Terrible.
Yeah, so Killer Instinct is the one that I had on Game Boy. Now let's go to 1995. This is another great year too for Game Boy because 95 was, important for the Game Boy. I want to talk about 3 because I think I only had like 3 games that came out in 95. One is Kirby's Dream Land 2, an amazing sequel to the first one. I've always wanted the first one, but I never had it. But yeah, the second one. What can I say? It's an awesome Kirby game. It's hard. I mean, yeah, it's still simple and fun, but like I said, the side scrolling levels. Some of the levels have side scrolling, and the screen won't stop moving until you get into the door, because unlike Mario, the screen stops so you don't end up getting crushed. But in Kirby, the screen still scrolls, and if you don't exit out of that area, the screen will continue to scroll and it will crush you to death.
Wow.
And let me tell you, Kirby's Dream Land 2, it's an awesome game. I love the game so much. Now, like I said, it might be difficult for younger players because they wanted to. Because Miyamoto really wanted to make the game challenging and fun, but still keep the simplicity of the game. Because it was produced by him and the late great Iwata, and this was truly a groundbreaking game. And I love Kirby's Dream Land 2. I
Oh
mean,
my god.
do I need to say more of that?
Yeah, and we'd say more of that exactly.
Another game that I had on the Game Boy. I'm gonna save the other one. The other one I had for the Game Boy. And by the way, this was HAL Laboratory who made Kirby's Dream Land 2. Another game I had from HAL Laboratory. This was well, if you guys probably remember the game Vegas Dream from 1988 on the NES. It was a casino game made by HAL Laboratory. And like I said, it was simulated gambling. We don't want anybody to gamble because that's not good.
Yeah.
But it was a video game where you could do that, but it was just a video game, so no harm, no foul. But yeah, so it started off with Vegas Dream, and it was also another game, and it came out on the Super Nintendo first in 1993, and I never had the Super Nintendo version of it. But in 1995, I had it on the Game Boy, and I love the game. And I think it's probably easier to beat if the game decides if you want to beat the game, if the game decides, because this is a game where you start off with 1,000 bucks, and your goal is to get into the high roller status and then climb your way to $10 million to win the game. But like I said, the game will like I said, it's a very long process, but once you get up to reaching the 10 million goal, then that's it. You beat the game and you've beaten the video game. And that game from 1995, and it started on the Super Nintendo, and then it was on the Game Boy in '95. The game is called Vegas States.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So Vegas States is the one that I had, and again, I only had the Game Boy version. I never had the Super Nintendo version.
Exactly. Excuse me, Courtney.
And like I said, it all started with Vegas Dream.
Anyway, be right back.
All right. And I think Luke's gonna get his pom poms and everything, and
Wow, really cool.
and do the Macarena. But anyway, imagine Luke doing the Macarena. Yeah, I would love to see that. But anyway, yeah. So Vegas States, the game that I had, and it was a casino game, and I think it's my favorite casino game that I played by HAL Laboratory. It's really good. And that was by Iwata. He produced that game as well. But yeah, so what can I say about just about that game? Again, you got blackjack, you got craps. I think Luke's gonna be playing craps when he's finished with the stream. Roulette. What else? Slots and poker. So those are the 5 games that are in Vegas States. So that's that game. Yeah, Vegas States, really good game. Check it out. Now this game. What can I say about this game? This game is awesome, and this game came out on June 26th, 1995, just 2 days shy of Luke's birthday. This was a game that I can say is another masterpiece of its own kind, and it's my second favorite game on the Game Boy compared to the one in 1994.
Wow.
And if you loved Donkey Kong Country on the Super Nintendo, like I keep saying for the millionth time, then you would love the game on the Game Boy. This was an EGM give this game I think it was like Game of the Year or something, or Game Boy of the Month, or whatever it was from EGM. Everybody loves this game, me included. My mom likes it too, but I think I like it even more because I just play games and she works and whatnot. So yeah, this was a an awesome game by Whale. This is another game by Whale. Um, and I love this game so much, and it's truly amazing. So again, what can I say about it? And what do I love about the game? Well, I love everything about it, the gameplay, and what I also love is the best, probably the very best, and that's the soundtrack. Soundtrack to the game is one of the greatest, and I love the music that David Wise and Gino Gate has done.
What game's it
This is
again?
truly a masterpiece of its own kind. The soundtrack. Um, yeah, it's truly amazing. Um, okay, still searching for a driver. Okay, well, get it together, Walmart.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. So anyway, the game that I'm talking about, and by the way, it came out as a yellow cartridge, the banana color. Not the Pikachu color, but the golden banana color, if you will, because it really was something. Again, the game came out on June 26th, 1995, and just 2 days shy of Luke being born. And that game is, and by the way, this game is also playable on the Nintendo Switch Online membership, and on the Switch and Switch 2. Anyway, the game I'm talking about is Donkey Kong Land.
Wow.
So Donkey Kong Land is an awesome game, and a lot of great memories with that game. Same with Donkey Kong on the Game Boy, and
You know,
it's truly awesome.
you know, I'll still jump in if it's on Fairy. Yeah, he did it as a Fairy Odd Gamer episode at one stage, but one stage, but I was like, wow. If you watch Lucas Bradley, it's for you, my friend. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Donkey Kong Land, this is a game that I love, and it's a game that keeps me coming back, and because whenever I played Donkey Kong Game Boy game to death, I would play another Donkey Kong game from 1995, like I mentioned, with Donkey Kong Land. And when I'm not playing the game, I am listening to one of the very best soundtrack by the two great composers
Yeah.
who worked at the company until they left. What can I say about the soundtrack? It's one of the best soundtracks ever produced. That's all I'm gonna say. One of the very best. My favorite is the skyscraper, the building level from World 4. That's my favorite song in the game, as well as the water levels. They're good they're really good as well. A lot of great jungle music as well, from the first one to the jungle beat from like World 3. Um, I tell you, and the temple. I love the temple song, one of my favorites. So what can I say? The soundtrack is the very best.
Yeah.
Do I need to say more? It's one of the best soundtracks in video game. Period. It's an awesome soundtrack. Um, and I'm still waiting for that game to be on Nintendo Music, because if they don't have that game on there, then what is wrong with them?
Yeah.
Because the soundtrack is amazing. It's one of the best soundtracks on a Game Boy. And I mean, Donkey Kong Land had it all in '95. It had an amazing gameplay. The soundtrack is amazing, and just everything you want in a truly awesome Donkey Kong experience. Because again, if you like the Super Nintendo Donkey Kong Country, then Donkey Kong Land is simply a game you must own. You must have in your collection, because, like I said, this was 1995. This is like the golden peak of
And yes,
greatness.
the third gamer does this before. If you watch Lucas Riley, it's for you, my friend. He does it. It is a thing he does. Go check out the third gamer episode on the classics on his channel. He done it 3 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
Continue.
But yeah, I mean, 1994, 1995 was truly the peak of greatness, for Game Boy, and it really means, to me. And like I said, I mean, this was a game that I still think is a game that people should play. 31 years later, and we still play this game, and it's just truly groundbreaking that a Donkey Kong game that was so successful on the Super Nintendo and then being made into a whole new platform on the Game Boy. This was the game that really redefined Donkey Kong in a way, and having the portability of playing Donkey Kong Country into the palm of your hand with Donkey Kong Land. And they made 3 games as well. One in 95, the second one in 96, and I think the third one in 97. And that's pretty much that. So, and yes, Billy, I'm still waiting for you to play Donkey Kong Land on the Game Boy if you get my message, alright? If you're watching this video, play Donkey Kong Land, and you agree with me that it's the best game. If you disagree, we're going to have problems. Because this is an awesome game. And look at here, Game Boy. Oh, yeah, and another game that I had on, I totally forgot. I'm just going so fast. Kirby's Pinball Land is a game that I had on Game Boy. I had that one. So here are all the, by the way, before I continue on, here are all the best-selling games of all time for the Game Boy. Tetris, obviously, with 35 million. Pokemon Red and Blue, 31.3 million. Super Mario Land, 18.14 million. Pokemon Yellow, 14.60. And the game I just mentioned, Super Mario Land 2, 6 golden coins with 11.18 million. Dr. Mario with 5.34 million. Wario Land, Super Mario Land 3, 5.19. Kirby's Dream Land, 5.13 million. The game that I just talked about, Donkey Kong Land, 3.9 million.
Good.
So you see why I love Donkey Kong Land and why it was a bestseller? It's because it was an awesome game from 1995. And it's such an amazing game. I love it so much. Anyway, Link's Awakening, Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening, 3.83 million. F1 Race, 3.41 million. Yoshi, 3.12 million. The game I talked about on this stream, Donkey Kong, with 3.07 million. Tamagotchi, really? That's on the Game Boy, and it's North America. I didn't know that. Anyway, Tamagotchi with 3 million, a game by Bandai. Which is, by the way, a really cool animation cartoon. I really enjoyed it. Kirby's Dream Land 2, 2.36 million. The game I talked about. Donkey Kong Land 2, 2.35 million. Kirby's Pinball Land, 2.19 million. Golf, 2.12 million. Tennis, 1.99 million. And Alleyway, which was the launch title, that sold close to 2 million copies. And those are your best-selling Game Boy games for that platform. So, Lou, what do you think of that? The list of the best-selling Game Boy games.
Pretty amazing for those of you who don't know. So, some of the games were pretty much amazing, with the exception of Pokemon.
Well, yeah. Even though, like I said again, Pokemon really drove the sales up of the Game Boy, and why people snatched the Game Boy, because, I mean, besides Tetris, in 89, and then the Pokemon craze in 97, 98, with Pokemon Yellow being the last Pokemon game and the very last Game Boy game, period. as well. So that's that. So yeah, Donkey Kong Land, one of my favorite games ever made. I love that game to death.
Yeah.
And then my last Game Boy game that I had was from 1997. Even though the copyright says 96, but in reality it came out in 1997. Oh, wait. Actually, hold on. I had one game that I had in 1996. Hold the phone.
Hold,
Yeah.
hold on,
It came
folks.
out on January 23rd, 1996. And I just got done playing it on the Nintendo Switch. It
Good.
was known as Super Bombless in Japan, but here in North America, Tetris Blast.
Uh huh.
I had that game as well, Tetris Blast.
Yeah.
And I think that was the only game I had for 1996
Yeah.
that year was
Yeah.
Tetris Blast, and
Yeah.
I got that for my 7th birthday.
Yeah. Yeah. It was a good thing you have it. And well, earlier this year, and I talked about this during weekend celebration, I had the seizure problem. I had pain for no reason. Did not know why. Good thing I have the TV way up. You know.
Yeah. But yeah, so Tetris Blast was a game I had now in 1997. I kind of jumped the gun a bit.
Yeah.
This is a game that is the least popular by Miyamoto because Miyamoto created this game, and I think he produced it. This is probably his lesser known Game Boy game, and this was a puzzle game. And it was kind of like Adventures of Lolo in a way. Had that style of gameplay, but you're not Lolo. You're a mole, and it was your job to save your family from the evil farmer who took the family, and he has to go through 8 levels, and level 8 has a boss rush before you get to the very end to fight the evil farmer to save your family and everything.
Mhm.
And again, this was a lesser known Miyamoto game that he's done. So out of all the games Miyamoto has made, this is the one that was less popular and less well known to him.
Excuse me.
And this was executive produced by the late great Yamauchi.
Okay.
And the game I'm talking about from 1997, even though it says 1996 on the copyright title screen, but it's actually from 1997. And this was the last Game Boy game I had growing up. And that was also the year that I moved from Texas to here in New York State. And that game is Mole Mania.
Wow, Momania.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mole Mania. Great music.
Mania.
And again, it came out in 1997.
Yes.
And yeah, there's pretty much anything I can say about that game. And but yeah, Mole Mania. Pretty interesting game. Gameplay wise, music's good. But again, not a lot of people have known about the game because again, it was one of his lesser well-known games,
Yeah.
and that was the proven track record, if you will, out of all the games he ever did. This
Yeah.
one was the lesser known. And I know it's kind of sad from a game creator who's known for the Mario franchise to have this game to be not in his resume. But this was certainly a game that that everybody probably knew, and I'm sure that everybody would want to see this game on the search online.
Yeah.
But we'll just have to see what happens, I guess. But all in due time. So, and I think the other games that I had that I'm sure I'm missing. Uh, One I had was Adventure Island 2, Alien in Paradise for the Game Boy, which was essentially Adventure Island 3, but it was called Adventure Island 2 because they only made 2 Adventure Island games on the Game Boy.
Okay.
I never had the first one, but I only had the second one, which was kind of like Adventure Island 3. But yeah, so that game is the one that I had, and I think I left that behind in Texas. So. because I think I remember dropping it into a chair, and I could never get it out of the chair. So the chair ate it up, and I never had it again. So, but yeah, that game, as well as Kirby's Pinball Land. That's another game that got eaten up by the chair, sadly.
Yeah.
But other than that, that's pretty much the library of games. Like I said, the library of games is what made the Game Boy, um, why
Yep.
the Game Boy outsold Sega and NEC and even Atari for that matter.
Yeah.
And again, if you don't have the library of games, guess what? The hardware itself is a huge failure, and it's game over for your company.
Yeah.
And like I said, the Game Boy did not have that fate, even though people didn't like the screen because it was a puke screen.
Yeah.
But they enjoyed the title of the games that they wanted to play. This was truly something that everybody wanted, which was the Game Boy.
I hear ya.
You know, and then Sega made fun of it, and all the other companies made fun of the Game Boy, and then guess what? They all failed because of one thing. You gotta have battery life, and if you don't have
Yep.
the battery life, then yeah, it's just gonna, like I said, especially the Game Gear, drain 6 AA batteries, and it's gonna give you one hell of a nightmare trying to find another 6 batteries. Keep, like you gotta buy the whole battery department just to keep playing the Game Gear, but not with the Game Boy because you can get like 20 to 30 hours of gameplay, and you don't have to munch on the batteries. It's like Pac-Man eating dots. You don't have to keep replacing batteries. Like the thing is munching batteries, chomp chomp chomp.
Yep.
I remember that. Yeah,
You know, and
but I'm telling you the one thing I remember, but we'll get back to the thing a little bit. But I just want to show you this real quick. This is nostalgia for me. Growing
yeah.
up. Yeah.
What was that?
Playhouse Disney, the keychain. I grew up with this keychain. I had this at Disney World when I was 10, 11, at Disney World.
Oh, son of a gun! I forgot about the other game I had, Toy Story. I had that one too.
That's what I just said earlier.
Yeah, I forgot Toy Story. That's another game I had, and I totally forgot to share it with you all. It was not just Tetris Blast, but also Toy Story. Why did I have that game is beyond me. But anyway, yeah, Toy Story and Tetris Blast. I played Tetris Blast because it was so much fun, and that's that.
Yeah. I remember
See, folks, I screwed up.
On the second gen, and all of a sudden I had a game over. It was one of my favorites. Yeah. I
More like the Saga Genesis.
Oh, God.
Yeah, absolutely.
The Saga Super Genesis.
Help me.
And I think Luke can't find his seat. It's like, okay, Luke, I'm gonna point where the seat is. Oh, it's right there.
I'm just saying my bad. That was I'm not gonna
jumping on the bed.
No
more monkeys falling off the bed.
Oh, yes.
Jump on the bed. That will be.
Well, I don't think Luke jumps on the bed. He'll break his bed if he does that. Anyway, continue.
Yes.
Anyway, I was just laying in my bed, see if my mom is home.
Okay.
Cool.
Well, you can kind of do the stream upside down if you want. I mean, that's not a problem.
Oh man!
Like Humpty Dumpty.
Oh man! If I do that, that will be terrible.
Oh, I know. You crack your head like Humpty Dumpty.
Yeah, I'll barf if I do that.
I know that'd be painful.
Yeah.
That would be really painful, Luke. I can tell you that.
Oh my God! Please.
Yeah.
Nah.
So anyway, that's the software, and I know that the stream's going on pretty long here, so we're gonna finish up here, and because like I said, So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we are gonna go ahead and do this here for you guys, and then we will end the stream. And like I said, Game Boy is where it's at, especially with
boys and girls.
yeah,
Yes.
I know.
Oh,
Ain't,
man.
ain't, ain't that special?
Yeah, it's special, folks. Mm-hmm.
Well, isn't that special?
Yeah, it's special, folks. Yeah.
All right. So I got it zoomed in and everything. Excuse me. So
Oh my god.
I'm gonna move Luke over there. Okay. Well, forget it. Okay. So let's talk about this. The Game Boy is a handheld game console developed and marketed by Nintendo. It was released in Japan on April 21st, 1989, and in North America on this day, July 31st of 89. This is the first handheld to use warm cartridges. It succeeded the Game and Watch line from 1980 to 91. I forgot to mention that before Game Boy there was the Game and Watch that Mr. Yokoi has created, and it did really well. Um, it succeeded the Game and Watch line of handheld electronic games, and it competed with the Game Gear, the Lynx, and the Turbo Express. And all of them did not do well. And the Game Boy was the king of the world. It was a grand champion, and nobody could take the Game Boy down.
Yeah, exactly.
Nintendo R&D 1 under Gunpei Yokoi and Okada designed the Game Boy to expand on a single Game and Watch. Nintendo adapted a dot matrix display and interchangeable game cartridges. They, affordability, battery life, and durability over the faster processors and color graphics of its competitors. So that's the reason why the Game Boy sold so successfully. They wanted to make it affordable and have the battery life that was ball on to play the Game Boy games and durability. And under following Yokoi's philosophy of using mature, low-cost technology, Game Boy has a monochromic display, an 8-bit processor, and it retains the phenomenal D-pad that you all know and love by Mr. Yokoi. When without that D-pad, I don't know what would it be for a video game. So that's a critical part of a handheld or a controller. And that's very critical still to this day, the D-pad. And if you don't have the D-pad right, well,
Too bad.
shame on you.
Shame on you.
Exactly. Wouldn't that what in your socks?
Yeah, why the sausage Jew? Ow! Ow!
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
The Ender Game Link cable developed by Okada, which enables multiplayer connectivity and data transfer between consoles. In North America and Europe, the Game Boy was backed by a large marketing campaign and bundled with Tetris, which increased its appeal beyond traditional video game audiences. Although its monochromatic display and technical limitations drew criticism, the Game Boy's low price, long battery life, and extensive game library drove strong sales worldwide. The success of Nintendo's Pokemon series helped maintain its popularity late into the 1990s. Nintendo released multiple redesigns, including the smaller Game Boy Pocket from 1996, as well as Game Boy Light, which was only in Japan in 1998.
Okay.
Nintendo continued to support the Game Boy following the 1998 release of the Game Boy Color. The Game Boy is forward compatible with many GBC games, Game Boy Color, and the Game Boy Advance, like we talked about earlier in the stream, are backwards compatible with Game Boy games.
Got me.
The Game Boy and Game Boy Color sold an estimated 118 million combined.
Yeah, no.
They were the best-selling console at the time of the discontinuation in 2003. So about what 20 Well, that's also when Where One was formed too. So about 23 years or so, maybe. Yeah. Um, and remained the fourth best-selling console as of 2025. Journalists credit the Game Boy with establishing handheld gaming as a mass-market category, and were introducing video games to a generation of players, me included.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So we won't get into the whole detail on the background, but I can tell you what did happen, and that was it was doomed from the start when the Game Boy was in development. And Yamauchi did not want the Game Boy because the screen was hard to look at, and everybody thought at Nintendo that the Game Boy would be a massive disappointment and a failure for the company. And then it got turned down, and then he did it anyway, and he wanted to make that project alive, so he did. And so yeah, the Game Boy had a struggle from the beginning, but after that struggle has ended, and Yokoi made this happen at the R&D one division, then yeah, the Game Boy started in 1988, and then in 1989 in Japan, roll it out to Japan first in 89 in 89 April, and then here on July 31st, 1989 in America. So yeah, the Game Boy was doomed from start, and then it ended up being a massive success with 118 million units. And then when GBA came out, that extended the Game Boy up to 160 million units worldwide. So that's to show you the true power, the true staying power of the Nintendo Game Boy.
Yeah. Cool. Cool.
Mhm.
Awesome.
But yeah, so it started in 1987,
Mhm.
and it was under the name DMG01 Dot Matrix Game.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like I said, there's a lot of stuff on the Game Boy history. Westland with Gaming did a video of this that you can check out. It'll be in the description below. He gives us the details of the whole Game Boy, and Okada and Yokoi did not get along together,
Oh,
and had total
yeah, I
disagreements
know.
about where they wanted the Game Boy to be. They had total disagreements with it, and because he really envisioned the Game Boy to have a cartridge that you could remove and pop in another game, just like the NES. So there was a total disagreement, but afterwards it got done and it got made, and
Wow.
that's how that relationship was between the two.
Wow. Yeah. Mhm.
Uh, and of course, they partnered with Sharp, which was a huge player in this. That's probably the reason why they gave us the green screen, the green on the thing, and why people don't like it and whatnot. So yeah, I mean that's that. But yeah, the R&D one that they were unprepared to make the screens, and it had a really bad screen, the TN screen, which you will see on monitors and everything. Yeah, TN is some of the worst you would get in technology,
Boy, TNT.
and it's really bad.
It's really
The quality is
bad.
really bad, and you can't even see the game that you're playing too. That's how bad it was.
Yeah.
I gotta get up. This is ridiculous.
It was bad. And yeah, so and what's also sad is that the Game Boy was canceled. I know it was pretty sad that yeah, when Game Boy was in development,
I don't know.
they canceled it because they thought that this wasn't gonna be a money maker for the company, because
Yeah.
they were focused on the Super Famicom,
Oh my god.
on that development, and that
Oh my.
wouldn't be released until 1990.
Yeah. 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 It's more like TNT.
Yeah, really, abomination of pitiful.
Yeah.
Um,
Excuse me.
So, on January 17, 1989, Nintendo officially announced the Game Boy. It launched in Japan on April 21st, selling out its initial production run of 300,000 units within the first 2 weeks. By August, it reached 720,000 and 1.9 million games across just 4 launch titles. The Game Boy debuted in North America on this day in 1989 at a retail price of $89.95.
Yeah.
And backed by a 20 million marketing campaign aimed at making it the must-have, hard-to-find holiday toy. On its release day, 40,000 units were sold in just a few weeks. Sales reached 1 million.
Whoa. Excuse me.
You're excused. Learning from the launch shortcomings of the NES, Okada pushed to offer third-party developers a development manual and development kit built by Intelligent Systems. Meanwhile, R&D 1 developed Super Mario Land, like I talked about, as the flagship title. But another game captured the attention of Okada and Yokoi, and it's this game right here, which is Tetris.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And let me find it here. Now I lost it. Oops! I lost it. Well, now I gotta find it because now I gotta play hide and seek. Where is it? Oh, and by the way, there's the Game Boy right there. Where the heck is? Okay, there we go. I tell you, it's slipping out of my hands. I tell you. Now this is the NES version, which I had. Awesome, loved the Nintendo version. I like the Tengen one too, but I grew up with the Nintendo version. And here's the Game Boy version. This is the one that sold like hotcakes.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go on that. That's a game that sold 30 to 35 million units sold.
Oh, okay.
So they go on that. Yeah, this was a launch title. Um, let's see. Yep. So let's see. It was completed in time for its North American launch in July 1989. Hank Rogers, who acquired the rights to Tetris, convinced Nintendo of America President Arakawa to make it the pack-in game with a Game Boy instead of Super Mario Land, arguing that while Mario primarily appealed to young boys, Tetris would appeal to everyone. As a result, Tetris was bundled with a Game Boy, except Japan. And I think Hank Rogers said, if you wanna pack in Super Mario Land, then it'll be for little boys. But if you include Tetris, Game Boy will be for everybody. And he was right. He bet on Tetris, and he was right. Just like in the Tetris movie from 2023 on Apple TV, which you can now buy, by the way. You can purchase that movie. And okay, so anyway, I know you guys are still there, but
Yeah, I'm still there. I'm just didn't know what's going on with my reply and my comment. And it's just it's not a nasty comment. It was just some nasty comment. I don't know what happened. Why Billy deleted it for some reason. Um, it may be something. It may be something that I do not know what's going on with some comment, and it may be rumors from Billy's end.
yeah,
And it's about what's going on.
I don't know.
Something.
I have no idea. So the Game Boy physical controls include a D-pad, full action buttons, A, B, select, start, a sliding power switch with a cartridge lock to prevent accidental removal, along with a volume and contrast dials on either side of the device. The original Game Boy was powered by 4 AA batteries. For its standard use, an optional AC adapter or rechargeable battery pack can be connected via a coaxial power connector on the left side. The right side has a Game Link cable, so you can hook up to 4 different Game Boy devices for multiplayer games or data transfer. For sound output, the Game Boy includes a mono speaker, but it also had a 3.5 millimeter headphone jack that offered stereo sound. So if
Yeah.
you wanted a nice stereo sound, you had to plug in the headphone jack.
Yeah.
And yes, 3.5 millimeter that everybody still uses because they still are complaining about that. But yeah, there you go. So that was pretty cool. Um, so yeah, Game Boy Pocket. And by the way, Game Boy Pocket was the last. That was the last Game Boy. That Gunpei Yokoi would ever do because he left Nintendo after 31 years with the company, and then he moved on to with Wonder Swan. And unfortunately, on October 4th, 1997, he died in a really bad accident.
Oh wow.
And yeah, this was 1997. This was a dark day in video games because this is the guy that bought us Game Boy and Game and Watch and given us a lot of great games, whether we played them or not. Died suddenly in a really horrific accident in Japan, and leaving behind the legacy of portable gaming and giving us the games that we love. You know, Super Mario Land, and and it's just tragedy that he died in a painful death, and
Yeah, I hear ya.
it was one of the darkest days for Nintendo, I'm sure, with the Game Boy, because
Mm-hmm.
he, like I said, he was Mr. Game Boy. He was the Game Boy of the generation, and if it wasn't for him and for the Game Boy, who knows what Nintendo would have done in the 100 year that Nintendo's been around since 1889. And the Game Boy is truly a magical piece of device that has captured a lot of people's hearts, and
Yeah.
that we still play Game Boy games and we still love playing them. Like the games that I mentioned on the stream. And we live by it, and we enjoy it, and that's just how it is with the Game Boy. And like I said, there's nothing quite like it with the Game Boy. um anyway, here's the Game Boy Pocket
Wow.
from 1996. I never had this one. My brother had one. I think he had the green one. I never had it. But this one used two AAA batteries instead of AA batteries. Um,
Yeah.
so I didn't have that. Game Boy Light, I never had that because I was only in Japan. And yeah, 1,000 games were released. And that's what it looks like. By the way, that's a Game Boy cartridge, really tiny. Yeah, Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow. Yep. Tetris 35. Yep. Um,
Yeah.
Super Mario Land. Yep. Alleyway, really good game. And you see, this is what people had back in the day. I had this too. Because if you thought the screen was hard to see, this was the way to see the Game Boy, to see the screen. That's why That's why they sold this, because they complained about the screen. Now I think I had one like this. I think it was by Vic Tokai. I forgot the name of it, but it snaps into the Game Boy, and it had a light, and it had a magnifying glass so you could see the game. Because, like I said, it was pretty hard to see, and they fixed it. in a way.
Yeah.
What do you think of that, Luke?
Hold on. What was going on? Oh yeah, that was hard to be able to. Hold on. Is it? Oh, that one. Oh, that was basically. Yeah, I don't know what to begin. That came out of the bag of flashlight. Yeah, it was difficult. I know.
Yeah, one common criticism of the original Game Boy was its lack of backlight, prompting third-party accessories to make play possible in low light conditions. But yeah, so it has a cult following, and I guess that's. Oh, and of course, in 1995, March 20th, the first update to the Game Boy's hardware design came that year with colors, and it was part of the Play It Loud campaign. And they had colors of red, yellow, green, blue, black, white, and transparent.
Yeah.
I only had the green and the red one. I never had the other ones. I wanted the transparent one because that was really cool, but I never had the transparent one, unfortunately. But yeah, there you go. Play it loud, baby. You got it. And by the way, this is what it looks like. This is 1995. Pretty cool, huh, Luke?
Yeah. Oh wow. Okay.
Yep, this is the Play It Loud series from March 1995.
Yeah.
That's pretty insane, isn't it?
Hmm.
Indeed, indeed. So, well, I guess that's gonna do it, everybody. Because, like I said, we talked a lot of everything there is about the Nintendo Game Boy, and I just want to say, on a personal note, happy 37th anniversary to one of the greatest gaming pieces of technology of mankind, and giving us the amazing software of games, and have a cult following, and being able to play it on the Switch and Switch 2. This is a gaming handheld that is going to go down in history as one of the greatest technology inventions of all time.
Yes.
So that is the Nintendo Game Boy, and so happy 37th anniversary to the Nintendo Game Boy, and this was such an awesome gaming handheld, and I tell you, without the Game Boy, I mean, we would not have portable gaming as we do today with
Yeah.
iPads and the iPhones and even the Nintendo Switch and Switch 2. You gotta tip your hat off to Nintendo and making it the impossible possible, and making it a huge selling game device of all time. And
Oh
that
yeah.
is the Nintendo Game Boy.
Yeah, at least Nintendo Game Boy, folks.
So there you go on that. So
There you go.
excuse me. Yep.
Gotta get my glasses on in case I needed them.
Yeah, need to fit in there that way it's not foggy.
Oh Jesus. No,
I know.
actually my mom is home, so I don't need to worry about it. Until
Okay.
that more easier.
Well, anyway, that's it for the stream. And again, happy birthday to the Nintendo Game Boy. And that's pretty much it for this one. So, if you enjoyed the stream, give it a thumbs up and hit the notification bell. Whenever I go live, I'll upload a new video, which I will be doing a new video coming your way with RBI Baseball game number 2. Wait till you see that. It's gonna be unlike anything you've seen. And if you want to catch the LJPCBM Reacts episode that Lou did recently with RBI Baseball, you can check it out on YouTube, and I think it's on Wombo as well. Am I correct about that?
I did get a chance to upload Rumble, so go check out the
Okay,
free
so it's only
original.
on YouTube at the moment. All right.
Yeah, go check out the free episodes. Not just my reaction video to the thing he just mentioned, but also the let's just say, if I go on my main channel right now, go check out my reaction video to Speed Challenge, Divine Highway, Race to Win, but also the play along to Ball concert, Following's 30th anniversary special. That's to celebrate its 30th anniversary Ball concert. Like by my good friend My Jazzy Matt, Jason Pleasant. On my main channel right now. So be look out for those. So it still has them on YouTube, but some LGBT episodes will be on YouTube, but the other ones we'll always keep uploading more LGBT episodes to YouTube. Just the copyright ones only, not the other ones the way around, you know. But anyway.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So there you go on that. So again, hit the like button, hit the notification bell, hit the subscribe button if you enjoy this. And yeah, so anyway, ladies and gentlemen, yeah, I gotta tell you, July was truly something else with the
Yes, it
streams
was.
that I did this month.
It was good.
Like the Death of Need for Speed, the Tier Maker NES list, and now this one, the Game Boy's 37th anniversary stream. Holy Toledo! I think I need a break after all of this.
Yeah,
After
me
all the
too. I'm with
streams
you,
that I've done this
buddy.
month.
I'm with
I
you,
really
man.
need to spend a month and a year and 7 months doing nothing, but after this, I really need to edit more. I really need to make Elsham says quote more, and then by August 15th, I really need to, you and I need to do a stream on Billy's birthday. You know.
Yeah.
And that should be it until the week of September 11th through the 13th, because I really need to see Billy in person.
I just hope he doesn't ask to play patty cake, because I'm not playing that.
No, he's in here. We're going to go see each other for lunch.
Yeah.
In person, you know. So we're
just a joke. Just like the Teletubby joke I did earlier. And watching Teletubby on the Game Boy Advance. It's going to be pixelated garbage.
God help me. Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, it was hilarious. But nonetheless, it was a great time. But
even better, The Legend of Zelda 1989 on the Game Boy Advance.
If Billy wears a tutu and a pink dress, I would be walking out of the door.
Or seeing Captain Lou Albano do the Mario on Game Boy Advance video.
I would be walking out the same door.
And then you see that pixelated Viacom logo on the Game Boy Advance.
Yeah.
Or the Viacom.
Just imagine this, Luke. Imagine watching Luke Jeffers content on a Game Boy Advance thing. And be like, hey folks, Luke Jeffers, and I'm pixelated mess on the Game Boy, but you have to excuse me for the screen limitation. And then trying to watch LJPCBM content on the Game Boy Advance.
Oh my God,
and it'll be a pixelated mess.
You're so wrong.
Definitely.
Coming soon to Game Boy Advance.
Oh, that is so wrong.
I know.
Oh man, I mean,
I got you good on that one.
Who could happen for LHBM for the standards of 2000? Well, if you go back before it was LHBM in 2006, and in 2007, it was known as Lou Jarrett's Pictures, and then I started doing like from 2008 like up until 2010 was known as Lou Jab Elsham Services Incorporated, and then until August 2010 was Elsham Corporation, until now like 2018 or well 2015 the present time slot was now called Elsham Services Qual.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
And I would also say too, imagine watching Toy Story 5 on a Game Boy Advance.
Oh God!
Yeah, definitely.
Or seeing any other movies this year, watching it on Game Boy Advance.
This is not helping out.
I know.
If you watch this, Owen and everybody in the Elsham community, and especially my good friend Ron Stark, Jason Pleasant, Angelo, and so many other friends of mine who are pulling out beyond. This is up we mixing them. I don't know what's up with remix. I don't know.
Heck, even watch Wheel of Fortune on Game Boy Advance.
Yep, definitely.
Oh, God.
Or Power Rangers.
Yeah. They're on Game Boy Advance and not like Game Boy Advance Video.
Or do push-ups on Game Boy Advance.
No, sure. Yeah, I know, for qualification, yeah.
Or watch Pac-Man, the TV animated series from '82. Watch it on Game Boy Advance.
Ooh, pretty good sales.
Or do the Mario in Game Boy Advance.
Ooh. What Flair would say for qualification.
Oh, take a ride in Atlanta, Georgia with Game Boy Advance.
Oh, God.
Oh, no.
I'm just full of Game Boy Advance here today, people. I'm sorry.
We're full of Game Boy Advance here.
But anyway.
We care out, no.
Yeah, exactly. We're trying to listen to AC/DC on the Game Boy Advance. There you go on that. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it here for today. And you can check me out on social media. I'm on Blue Sky. I'm on Tumblr. I'm on all the other stuff except for Ets. So there you go on that. And also check out Remix's Contents on SoundCloud and Internet Archive.
Yeah.
And also listen to Christianity Plays His Hits on Apple Music, Spotify, and
thank you for that,
Amazon
Remix.
Music.
Appreciate it.
And again, Apple Music listeners, $11.99 a month. You'll be paying that from now on because Apple raised the price of it by $1, so $11.99 a month.
Yeah, I know.
You can listen to that album plus many other great music
Apple.
from Apple Music.
I hate you, Apple.
Oh boy.
Apple can go to hell.
So they and also on the website too. You can listen to it on that as well. And you want to buy it on iTunes. Listen to it on your iPod or burn it to a CD and all that good stuff. So there you go on that.
Person since 2005. Anyway.
Yep. And you can play it on a old school CD player from Sony or Panasonic or your boombots. I don't know. Put in your car stereo. You be in business.
That's
so. But anyway, there you go on that. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank Christianity for coming on. Celebrate the Game Boy's birthday for today.
Thank you for having me, Remix. Bless you. You're very kind.
Again, 37 years of the Game Boy, and thank you, Nintendo, for giving us this amazing handheld. And I love the Game Boy, and I will continue to play these Game Boy games for the generation of time. Like Super Mario Land, Donkey Kong Land, Tetris 2, Tetris Blast, Vegas States, Adventure Island games, Kirby. Pretty much every game that I can say. Thank you to the Game Boy, because like I said, I'll probably play Super Mario Land 2, maybe, because I love that game to death. It's one of my favorite Mario Land games ever made, as well as the first one. I'll probably play that as well, because I can't get enough of that as well.
Yeah.
So there you go on that. And I want to thank Lou Jeffers for taking the time being on here today and busting his butt, and like I always do. And I know that Luke can't wait to see Game 2 of RBI Baseball, and he's going to be crying in tears when he sees it.
Especially.
And all that other stuff. So anyway, Luke, go ahead and take it away, and let's end the stream. Luke, floor is yours.
Yeah, especially tell you big lies for July 3. Anyway, the first thing is you're welcome. Second thing is, oh my god. Well, here we go. Especially the fact that we're gonna do this whole entire Buster Buzz on it. Speaking of the whole thing, I'm not gonna tell the rest of the stream, but I have to do this. But it's just I'm not gonna talk about it on the stream. It's gonna be extremely exciting. Okay. Oh my god. I'm not gonna say it, but anyway. First thing. Oh my god. As you said earlier about this whole jokes rise, but I'm sorry, folks. He just brought me today throughout the stream. But anyway, start with the second thing is anyway, folks. I'm gonna say this too. There is going to be some. I have 17,040 videos on my main channel, but my second channel, my main channel, on the other hand, right now is at 2,316 subscribers right now on my main channel. So that is good news for me, and I'm getting my third paycheck here on my main channel. So that's going to be very exciting. I'm getting close. I'm not quite there yet, so that's very exciting. And I talked about this earlier in the stream, but I'm going to say it anyway. I talked about this in my update video on my main channel as well, but I'm going to say it anyway. We have some side news to tell you, but the book will be coming on September 18th. Not sure when, but it's about my personal life story. And last thing we're going to talk about here is basically I'm going to see Billy again sometime around the weekend after Labor Day for part 10 of Always Kids Were Gone. Part Gone 2, A Police Case Adventure Part 10. If you look up for it, it's going to be a huge trip. And I'm going to say one last thing. I was going to do it in this stream, but in the early stream, but I'll do it anyway. In August, I was going to do an update video anyway, back then, but I will talk about it, but we're going to play activities in August to find the right girl for me. That's very exciting, but that's something I really want to do in August to find different groups for me. That's something I really want to do, something that really want to help me out that suits my needs. And that's up to the bowling's moms to decide that one. But anyway, before we go, I have no idea what the show remix about, but and he says about Teletubbies. I don't know what to do, but it's coming. It's just jokes wise, you know. But if he says about Tutu and things like that one more time, it would be hilarious. But anyway, that was for me. So Jersey by piece of baby. That's the remix of Plum whole time fan.
Thank you. And I'm gonna say Teletubbies winning the 2-2 on Game Boy Advance. Alright, anyway, ladies and gentlemen, there you go on that. Thank you, Luke, once again, and thanks, Chris, as well. And so there you go, everybody. And again, happy birthday to the Nintendo Game Boy. And happy 37 to the greatest gaming device on the planet. And I think I forgot one other game, too, and that is a game called Quirk. There's another game I had.
Wow.
From 1990. I forgot to mention that on the stream. So I had that game as well. KWILK by Atlas and published by Acclaim Entertainment. So I forgot to mention that as well. So there you go on that.
There you go on that.
But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, for Christianity, Luke Jeffers, and everybody here, my subscribers, and everybody in the chat room, thank you. I am Plum, and saying have a wonderful Friday. And let's start the weekend off with a bang, with a brand new month of obviously Billy's birthday will be coming in about 20 more days, and also something very exciting is going to be happening at Wheel One, because something is launching on Billy's birthday as well. So there you go on that. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys so much for tuning in, and this will wrap up another great stream here for the month of July here on BPT. And if you enjoyed this stream, check out the other streams I've done, like the Death of Need for Speed that me and Luke did, as well as the tier maker that the three of us did. And again, RBI Baseball game number 2 coming your way soon. And also check out the recent video that I did, which was Need for Speed 4th Street, where I'm racing into Nevada Highway. And yes, folks, I didn't crash this time, thank God, because I
Thank
crash a
God.
lot in that game, just
First
like
time
you
for
would in the
reaction.
Sight Bike and Motocross Maniacs on the Game Boy. So there you go on that. So for Christianity and Luke Jeffers, I am Remix Plum, saying have a wonderful Friday, everybody, and let's start off the new month of August with a bang, and we'll see you guys in the next stream. And thanks everybody, and God bless you all, and thank you to all the subscribers who've been with me for the past 16 years. You guys are truly awesome.
Yes.
All right, guys, bye for now, and we'll see
Thank you
you
so
next
much.
time here on BPT.
Yes.
Bye, guys.
All right,
Yeah.
take care. Woohoo!